So Dassault Systems is a 30-year-old company, and we are the leaders in facilitating companies across the world in their own innovation processes. So if you were to look at it, what we do is we bring about technology products which help companies harmonize product nature and life and create sustainable innovation. And sustainability is a very, very important element as we speak today. I mean, we see what's happening around in the world. So we go to 11 different industries across the world today, and these industries are as diverse as transportation, mobility, aerospace, defense, to consumer products, consumer packaged goods. So we are touching life indirectly through our customers of pretty much everyone on planet Earth. So we have associations with every single thing that flies, pretty much, which is manned, unmanned. Most of the automotives that you see out there in the market are touched by our technology, created by our technology, as well as some of the fashion brands which are very strongly associated with Dassault Systems. In India, we've been here for almost about 15 odd years. We've had a long-standing relationship with IBM, and with IBM being in India for that period of time. As Dassault Systems, a legal entity, we've been here almost about 6 years now in India. And if anything, we are growing every single day. See, the interesting thing is I don't think the drivers are any different from a global front to an India front. And the reason for that is simple, that economies are very well connected today. Marketplaces are connected today. So it is gone are the days when you could think that you would have a different product for India and a different product for the rest of the world. In fact, on the contrary, today India is the generator of innovation, as we see in the transportation industry. Right? That's probably a leading edge industry in the sense that products are being innovated in India and then being taken out for a global market, which is very different from probably what India was about a decade or more back. In terms of what are the drivers, I think the first statement that I made is in terms of sustainable innovation. I think organizations are realizing, not just from a good corporate citizenship or good governance perspective, they realize innovation is sustainable. Innovation is the way they want to create new products, new solutions, new technologies. It could be, industrial vacuum cleaners. It could be, a simple device like an electric iron or a home appliance. It could be, the world's largest aircrafts that are being made today. So I think it is really this demand for better products, more innovative offerings, which is driving our business forward. And I think that remains equal whether you look at a global perspective or whether you look at an India perspective. Well, in India, I think the growth strategy is very simple. Participate in the revolution that is happening in India. I will not be the first and I will not be the last man to say that India is sitting at the cusp of a very different economic order in the world. India is, as I said earlier, going to be the creator of innovation for the future. Interestingly, I was speaking with somebody the other day and we were talking about financial products. That gentleman had a background coming from that industry. He was absolutely convinced, and he was a senior industry leader, he was very convinced that even financial product innovation is going to happen in India, not in the mature markets. So I think our strategy is fairly simple. Participate in the growth that the country is happening, that is happening in the country, contribute to it, and be relevant to the entire movement that is happening. Just to give you a small example, I think, and we work at this very fundamentally. There is clearly talk today that there is a demographic dividend that India has. But there is also a worry that the demographic dividend might be wasted if we don't steer this millennial generation into productive uses for the economy. Now, we work extensively with academic institutions across the country, and today as many as about 400 of them use our technology to prepare this generation that is going to come into the workforce and the existing generation in the workforce to be productive in the future. Now, that to me is really what is at the core of what we believe we want to do in India. As I said, we want to participate, contribute. That contribution is a very, very important element for me. Because unless we are contributing, we are not adding value to India. So look at the India drivers, what are the key focal economic forces taking place, look at issues like the demographic dividend, and see how do we participate in this whole movement. So if you were to look at that aspect, there is a lot of value add that needs to be done. We bring the tools, right? There is a lot of work that one needs to do with somebody who wants to use these tools to innovate on their own. So we are right now in a process of actually really increasing our footprint hugely in the market, because there is innovation happening in various different pockets today, right? And there is product creation, companies are spreading, they're going from, B category cities to C category cities, there are new industrial clusters coming up, and we need to be there where our customers are. And therefore partners become our extended way of actually creating value, not just reach. Because our partner ecosystem brings in a whole lot of technology capabilities on their own. They understand what is manufacturing processes, how do assembly lines work, or if I were to look at an engine, they would understand what are the different components of an engine, how do they play against each other, and then they are able to work with our customers. So in India, we are working with a lot of different companies who have been partners for a very long time with us, but we are also in the process of actually adding up a lot of new relationships, given the fact that the marketplace itself is changing quite rapidly. So, this is something which I believe for a long time, and I've been in the industry for a fairly long time, is that partnerships are successful only when there is a win-win. And that profitability is just one aspect of it. To me, I think the value of Dassault Systems to a partner ecosystem or a potential partner is that I would help that organization become far more relevant to its own customers. As a professional, to me, it is very important that when I go to a customer, he recognizes that I am not just another technology service provider that is walking into his office. I am somebody who's going to participate with him and help him grow his business. The areas that Dassault System plays in allows our partners to actually create that stickiness with the customer. And that embedded nature of relationship is, I think, what really attracts partners to us. Of course, there are entry barriers in terms of the fact that you have to understand the domain. You have to have knowledge of what are processes in different industries, because we want to, end of the day, with our partners, go and add value to our customers. And if you don't understand that, of course you can't do that. So I think there is a huge opportunity for partners to work with Dassault, provided they bring the right skill sets. And we are constantly looking at how do we, under our program framework, give them greater competence so that they can actually truly add value that we talk about. And then profitability becomes one aspect of it. Needless to say, this is a knowledge business, therefore the profit cannot be transactional profit, as it is there in a lot of sectors in the IT industry. So I would not say that profitability is the only aspect that we focus on. We focus on the entire framework that is required for companies to grow and be profitable. So I think that's what we allow partners to do. I would not say challenges really, but as I said earlier, our business is a knowledge business, right? It's a business where you understand customers' processes very deeply. It's not a conventional, we often say in our company that we are not an IT company, we are actually a scientific company, right? So you've got to understand the science behind each of those industries that we play in, and there are 11 of them, right? So if I have to go to a consumer product company, I've got to understand how their processes work, what is their ultimate objective, how do they want to serve their customers. And once you understand how they want to serve their customers, you are able to sit down with them and define to them what should be their innovation processes. What they are today, what should they be, what are the kind of process enhancements, improvements that you can bring about, and thereby what pieces of technology that you bring in. Now, so it's really not a challenge, but it's really a limitation in terms of the fact that there are few people or few organizations who bring that depth of knowledge. So that's, I would say, a bit of a hindrance in terms of being able to take this out, because there are a lot of companies out there who need our technology, who need the value that we bring to them. But we need adequately competent partners to take that out. Otherwise, it's just another piece of code, right? The value is unlocked when you actually understand the unique processes in the innovation which is relevant to each industry. So you bring out an interesting thing. I think this is part of sustainability as well in a much longer perspective. See, alternate materials are becoming very, very important. I mean, if I can use composites and I can bring down the weight of an automotive or an aircraft, the amount of carbon footprint that I reduce is humongous. Composites are newer material relatively, right, compared to the standard ferrous, non-ferrous metals and all of those kind of things. Now, how do you use composites in the design process? How do you design with that? For example, you can't just take a composite and drill a hole through it and you'll think that you'll get the strength that you want. You will not be. You've got to understand the fiber structure that underlies in a composite and then define a machining path which will allow you to get the benefit of the lightweight, the strength of the material without any compromises. So Dassault Systems is a global leader in the space of composites. Whether it is in terms of machining, in terms of designing, in terms of simulating behavior of a composite product or a component of made with composite material in real life. And therefore, this partnership actually helps progress the whole domain of alternate materials. And that is why it is very, very important, not just for us, but for our customers. Because we are innovating at that level where the customer can then innovate from a higher level. So we are bringing in that knowledge and that competence and that capability, and then the customers have this knowledge available to them through our tools, and they can innovate forward from that. So it's a very, very strategic relationship that we're driving. In India as well, we are very strongly involved with every single potential user of composite materials, whether it's in the energy sector. The energy sector, for example, is a big user of composite material. So we are working with both the research part of it, as in the case of this relationship, as well as the customer end of it. And the interesting part that I like to add there is I think our innovation is also in part driven with the 130,000 customers that they have. They are demanding that we bring them more value, which allows us to then go back and look at the right set of collaborators, as well as our own R&D strategy as to how do we build more and more value for our customers. So our relationship is very unlike a traditional technology company with our customers. It's a very deeply embedded relationship because that's how you will create innovation for the future. As I said, globally we serve more than 130,000 customers today, across 11 different industry segments that we're talking about. And actually this does not include one of our recent acquisitions that we made that's under regulatory approval. But in India we have a similar size market share, in fact very high market share in all the 11 industries that we are playing in. We have literally thousands of customers, and I can't share the specific number with you. But I can tell you that if you were to look at the aerospace initiatives, we are connected with everything that is happening in the country. You look at the automobile, the transportation sector, we are involved with every single large entity that is engaged in that market. You look at industrial equipment, you look at the energy sector, we are engaged with in every single segment of the market. What is it that we are trying to do to increase this, or what is our plan around that? Well, fundamentally it is to get closer to those customers via a robust ecosystem of partners, right? And therefore partners become even more centric, that if I want to go and service more and more customers, I need partners who are able to take the value of our technology to our customers. And then of course our own efforts, so acquiring new customers, helping them create value in their own processes is something that drives our business. That's what our business is all about. The catalyst functions are our partner ecosystem. So as we speak, and I speak with our partners pretty much every single day. I know we are looking at capacity augmentation, we are looking at inorganic growth, which I talked about, how we are looking at getting new partners into the ecosystem. New partners with unique skills where they might have a deep market understanding, they might not have an understanding of our technology. I'm all right with that because I can go and create that knowledge. For me to create the knowledge of that industry is far more difficult. So if they have a prerequisite that they understand how a particular, let's say the food and beverage industry works, then we can go and work with them and show them how our technology will help them add greater value to their customers. So that's how we're going about acquiring more and more customers. I think every single week we are acquiring new customers across the country. Is that enough? Absolutely not. We definitely want to acquire more customers, and I think we will continue to do so as we go forward.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for the time.